That we know.
That we know of. Yeah.
That we know of. You know who else died in South Africa?
Okay. Who's that?
Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to Pixelit. My name is Kevin. With me, as always, is Phil. On today's show, I may have killed Phil.
I thought you were going to say, like, you know who else?
I think he thought I was going to go and I was going to say something else, and then I didn't say it.
There was a lot of setup there. There was a lot. That's as good of a plug for getting the Patreon entry to our pre-show shit as I can offer you.
Patreon.com/PixelitPod. Get $5 in, gets you right in there to listen to it, and $10 gets your name shouted at the beginning of the episode. To that end, I'll thank Jesus Loves You, Kyle Seaman, Ruthless Mutter, Middle of Things, Sigma Sal, Chuck Beaks, Dumbest, Thick, and Friendly Friend. Thank you so much for being a friend. Right into the Patreon plug, because I had to. We had to. We were having a conversation beforehand about,
Rhodesia.
a guy who is a white man who is born in Rhodesia and dies in South Africa and lives nearly 90 years. You got questions about his life.
You got questions.
Fair. You got questions.
Fair questions.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah, about as fair and balanced as they get, actually. Yeah,
about as fair and balanced as they get. It's okay. I think it's okay to make a slight assumption,
just to ask
those demographic points.
Yep,
just like
that's an actual. I'm just asking questions moment.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Nelson Mandela?
Right. Well, I thought for years he had died before he did. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. But it turns out he was living in Barbara Streisand's house.
reading the Berenstain Bears books.
Reading the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, count me in that camp. I
thought it was Bernstein as a kid. I remember saying it to my parents. It can Bernstein Bears, and nobody ever corrected me.
No one.
So I am fully. If I'm going to have weird conspiracy theory thoughts, I think there has been there's been like a split in the timeline or something like that, where it used to be Bernstein. I'm 100% sure at this point that it used to be Bernstein. I don't care.
Man, remember when conspiracy theories were fun? Man.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Good times.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. So we're still talking about the Jedi stuff with the Fatal Alliance.
That alliance that is fatal.
The alliance that is fatal. Before we get started, I read something on one of the Star Wars subreddits that the reason why humans and like Twi'leks can like get it on and have a kid is because this is some like Warhammer level stuff. Yeah. But like all of the species that are human like are actual like mutations off of humanity that were created by another race. So like so like the Twi'leks and all that stuff. It's not like they were original. It was like they originally were humans and somebody played with their genes, started fucking around with their genetics a bit, and made a whole brand new. Yeah,
it's very
Warhammer. It's kind of disappointing, but it's also very 40K in the.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's like it adds a layer of grimdark.
When you think of the Ogrins and the Ratlings and all that other stuff.
Ogrins and Ratlings,
squats.
But that's why humans and Twi'leks can have relations, which
I didn't know that. I did not know.
I didn't know that either, but I endorse that.
So however you guys feel about that dancing girl, it's okay.
It's okay.
She's basically your cousin. It's fine.
She's basically your cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that Jabba kills her for, feeds her to the Rancor.
There are so few women in that universe as it is. Do we really need to kill any of them off just for funsies?
So few women.
There's so few.
that have proper agency.
It's Leia or Mon Mothma or that
Leia,
Twilight
Mon
girl.
Mothma, or that Twilight girl.
That's it. That's it. Those are your choices. And after Jedi, it was one less. So bad news.
Bad news, bears. Berenstein bears.
Yes.
Let's put the body in the marsh.
Let's marsh up that body. Okay.
When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump them in the marsh.
We are in chapter 16. Laren and the Sarge, as I've affectionately begun to call him, they start shooting back at our cartoonishly weird-ass aliens, as you guys recall. They are very geometric, and we realize for the first time that they actually appear to be droids. We start
the
to
hexes.
see, the hexes. They refer to them as the hexes, and there's a we're gonna see like that they are filled with these thin hair-like filaments that seem to, and they have noticed them in the book at that point, that they've been spreading all over the place, basically looking for materials and scrap and energy sources and that sort of thing, so that it's basically can create more of itself, which is weird as shit and very cool. The droids start to go all Voltron on us. They join together to become something bigger. And sadly, right after I started calling him the Sarge, Sergeant Patanin takes a ricochet to the eye and dies. Ula and Jet are off on their own, avoiding all combat for similarly but different cowardly reasons. Ula because he's a coward, and Jet because he's a scoundrel. And that's just how they roll.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Jet, I get it. Ula, it's like there's cowardice on Ula's side, and Jet is like, oh, but he's doing the same thing, but he's doing it cool. You know,
right?
This is like the Hello Human Resources meme. Like,
right? Yeah.
Jet is the guy who's like, I'm hiding from fire because I'm a scoundrel, and she's like, oh, you're sweet. And when Ula does it, it's Hello Human Resources.
That's exactly it. And yeah, it's the same deal, but Jet paints it as pragmatism, but come on. So they're speculating on the Mandalorian's need for these hexes, as they call them. Axe, who was recently blasted to oblivion, wakes up and gets blasted to oblivion again, but instead of passing out, she goes full Wolverine berserker on them, and screams back at them, "Whose authority do you recognize?" And it's pretty fucking cool. It's metal.
She's just screaming like, whose authority do you recognize?
Right. Yeah. She's just choosing different emphases to shout it back. She goes completely ape shit on them, and it's fucking metal as hell. Sith are sometimes pretty cool. Chapter 17, Axe is using her Force Scream against the hexes. Buy, download, and play Star Wars: The Old Republic today. Another kick-ass power that you can have in that game. The droids start using cloaking tech. Basically, they are coming up with they're pulling all kinds of tricks out of their hat at all.
Seems like they can do whatever they need to.
Yeah,
as the situation calls for it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so Shigar, who has been fighting them this entire freaking time and has taken some blows, finally retreats. And the Mandalorian, who has popped in there, tells him to tell Laren and the others who are bringing in the rear, putting down some firepower, telling them to aim for the vault. So the hexes are bouncing. They create these like mirror shields, and they're bouncing laser cannon fire off of their mirror shields against this spot near the vault that's weakening. And they're basically trying to create a larger exit. And Shigar seems to realize what the hell's going on and is trying to get people to stop, because they only have one in and out point, and it's pretty narrow. So they're kind of stuck. But if they can widen the exit, then they can really get the hell out of there. So the Twi'lek head of the bodyguards for the Hutts, he just keeps on shooting, and Striver, who realizes also what is going on, blows him and the cannon up. Just we never see either again. But it's too late. At that point, the exit is too big, and he orders Laren to go in and destroy everything that she can in the vault. Shigar saves Jet and Ula from a giant falling piece of wall related to the vault explosion. They run. Ula's pretty embarrassed about what a panty waste he is turning out to be. He thinks quite a lot about, like, I always said that if I was going to be in one of these positions, because apparently at one point he had wanted to be like, I don't remember what they call it, but it's like a Hand of the Emperor style, like assassin kind of character. Right. And that's what he wanted to do originally. And he was like, I am in no way ready for that.
Not qualified for any of that.
Not even a little bit. And so he's having kind of a moment with himself. He says he's going to, he says he's going to go into the vault to stop the Republic from getting there first. Oopsie, realizes his mistake and tries to say, I mean the Imperials. And Jet thinks that's pretty funny. In a scoundrelly kind of way. He's like, cool. You're a big old faker too. I love it. You have to feel like his secret is probably safe with Jet. Jet's first mate tried to kill him and he still, forgave him and put him back. Put him
Jet
back
doesn't
at work.
care.
No. Chapter 18. Striver, Sith, Mandalorian, Sith, and Jedi chase the hexes outside. They are running. The Mandalorian nets one of them, and Axe almost goes to kill it before realizing, oh wait, I don't give a shit. This is not my fight. I don't give a shit.
Axe is like, wait a minute, I don't need to do any of this.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't care. I was only here because I wanted to kill this Mandalorian, and that's not going to happen at this point. Right. So let me go to the vault and find the Navicomp that I was also sent here to get. So she leaves Shigar and Striver to that. They bring both of the droids down. They get a signal from Laren, who's telling them, you need to get to the vault. You need to see this. Laren has found what amounts to a tiny war droid factory. That's where all of these things have been coming from. And it's been sending out feelers and getting scrap and energy sources and just creating more of itself, which if you've played Knights of the Old Republic is that was actually one of the big bosses at the end. You're basically dealing with a infinite, I think it was called the Star Forge, which just creates more and more war droids. That's the whole thing. So it might be a kind of a nod to that. Right. Either way, it's a pretty dangerous thing. So she tells Shigar, and she's on the comm link with him. And as she's doing that, her fingers get cut off by Axe with her lightsaber, who demands that she give her the Navicomp.
The hand that she's holding the comm link in, it's like the comm link is gone, and so are her fingers suddenly.
And so are her fingers, which, it's easy to forget how much of a trope losing limbs is in Star Wars.
100%.
Right. For what is it's a kid's show essentially, but it's like they lose limbs a lot on that show. Anakin
in the prequel first loses his arm, in episode 2, and then in episode 3, Obi-Wan cuts off the robot arm again and both of his legs.
And then Luke loses a hand,
It's a pretty common thing to lose. But I mean, you fuck with lightsabers, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah. No, it's just part of it's like having a shop teacher with a missing pinky. It's just It doesn't throw you. It just happens.
Right.
So she's demanding the Navicomp. Ula sees all of this and sees the Navicomp, which Laren doesn't have. So he scrambles for it. Axe is still threatening her, and the last guard that she has, because all of the guards, the people who've been working with her, have slowly been getting picked off at this point. Ula struggles with whether or not he should give it to Axe, because on one hand, he's like, this will solve all of my issues because she and I are technically on the same side. On the other hand, as we mentioned in the last episode, he really doesn't like the Sith.
He gets this whole existential meltdown in his head of like, I love the Empire because it brings us rule and order and all that stuff, but I don't like the Sith. It's like this really weird Republican guy who is like, it's an anti-Trump Republican, anti-MAGA Republican who is still a fascist, but doesn't like that kind of fascism.
Yeah. And it's based entirely on the fact that they think they're better than them. And it's like, you're really not. You're exactly the same. That's exactly what it is. And finally, he decides that he's gonna toss the Navicomp to Axe. But Stryker comes in with the interception. The Mandalorian grabs the Navicomp and exchanges it very kindly, I think, with a thermal detonator.
Very smooth Mandalorian moves right there.
That's primo Mandalorian move. Shigar uses the Force to throw it back, and Stryver rides the falling debris deeper into the palace. So Shigar checks on Laren, and Ula hates it. He is so into her.
She is my girlfriend.
Right. And he's just like, oh, they've got a friendship and a connection that I don't have. It's like, yeah, you just met her. Like, give it a minute.
You just met her, dude.
Jesus Christ.
You haven't even said anything to her before you got into it.
You got nothing. Like settle the fuck, start with hello. It can happen to you. So ultimately he decides that he's going to make a run for the nearest Imperial ship and explain who he is and drop his cover so he can get the hell out of there. And that brings us to the end of part 2, the beginning of part 3, The Chase. Chapter 19.
This is one of my favorite things with Axe chasing Dow through the building.
Yeah. That's exactly what this whole section is. It's what it says on the tin. Axe is chasing Stryver down into starts in some slave quarters. They jump a rancor pit. We get a little cameo from a rancor, presumably the fat guy with the headdress. One
presumably
would hope.
He's there. Yeah,
that guy rules. He loves his job, and his job loves him back.
That's right.
She chases him all the way back up through the roof of the palace, and he blasts her and runs off.
It's like they are like breaking through floor to ceiling. So Stryver is just like with his jetpack, just shooting massive holes all the way through like these. It's like he's in a casino. He's in a he's in the shower scene from Porky's.
10th floor, lingerie, 11th floor.
He's in housewares.
Yeah. He's going through them all.
Yeah.
It is a great little tour of the palace. So he gets away, and so she makes her way to the vault, back to the vault, realizing that the Navicomp that he got away with can't be the only way to find a map to where they're trying to get to. So she steals one of the dead hex droids, figuring I could probably find something in here. She boards an Imperial shuttle and tells the pilot to blow up the Republic shuttle on the way out, basically just out of just malice. It's like, just fuck you.
Right.
It's hilarious because we are in a Cold War right now, and it's the most overt thing to do. And we do later, they do say something like, if this had happened anywhere but a Hutt crime palace, then maybe, it would have caused the war to get odd again. But at this point, no one gives a shit. Chapter 20, Shigar sneaks.
And the guys on the ship, when Axe is getting on, they're like, oh yeah, some guy tried to get on the ship. We had to turn him away.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
We'll get back around. We'll get back around to that, but that's like put a pin in that.
and I do want to say Sean Williams does a really, really good job of overlapping these moments and telling them from different people's perspectives. He isn't afraid of stepping back and bringing you back up to speed if it will give you a perspective from somebody else. And I think it's really well done. It's not easy to do that kind of thing in a novel, right. And he does it really well. Chapter 20, Shigar is sneaking through the palace. He is waiting in a spaceport he's outside of the Mandalorian ship. And he's just kind of waiting for him to come back. He's got to come back at some point, right? And then he stands corrected when the ship starts taking off. As far as he can tell, no one has gotten into it. So he breaks in through the security system, and it shocks him and electrocutes him and sends him back down to the roof. Basically just throws him out of the jet. It's hilarious.
Just spits him right out.
Just spits him out. When he hits the ground, security binds him and drops him at the feet of the Hutt Tassa Barish. He's finally face to face with this charming Huttese crime lord, crime lady. At first, she thinks he's a Sith. And he's like he's you know what he's doing. She thinks he's a Sith and she's gonna punish him. And he pulls the I think you used the wrong version of there. So and she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna beat the shit out of you for being involved in what you did to the palace. It's like, oh right. yeah. It's not really the point that you think you're making here.
Yeah.
So he makes a deal with her. He says he'll follow the Mandalorian into towards this new space territory, and that she's got first dibs after it's all over, that she can have first dibs on anything they find. Right. And she agrees, but says, but you're going to have to accept my help, basically. Chapter 21, Laren disassociates with Jet. She's just sitting there. He's chatting with her, and she's having a goddamn existential meltdown on where she is based on who she used to be. Right. She was a professional soldier and special forces person, and now she's like getting into firefights with crime lords and stuff. She's like, is this what I was meant to be doing with my life?
Is this how far I've fallen in my life?
Right. You're right. Which I don't know. I'm like, it sounds like you're in a better place than you were. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, so they figure that the droids were waiting for someone to win the auction to take and to take them someplace else. And they saw an opportunity to escape when people started trying to break into the goddamn vault, right. And took it. They also come to the same conclusion that Axe does, realizing they could probably use one of their heads to find some core memories and get a map or something like that. Right. A droid tells them that Stryker got away. Striver. I keep writing Stryker. It's Striver.
Right.
They try to come up with a plan to also get the fuck out of there. The Republic shuttle is blown up. But then they get a call from Shigar who says, hey, Barish's security details coming up. Just agree.
Oh yeah. Cause they're all ready to go. It's like what's her name and Jet and Ula are like, and Jet and Jet's droid and all right, we got to fight there. And there's 100 dudes outside that door, and there's saved by a phone call right at that moment. Right. Yeah, so
it's the super mega happy ending of Butch and Sundance. Really, it's like if only we could have gotten a phone call into them first. It's so they're like, oh, good, we're glad that we don't have to do that. They're suspicious, but they go. Ula, we cut to chapter 22. Ula is now in Barish's office. He is miserable. He tried to get away. He's been turned away by the Imperials because he's a near human. Another Ben Shapiro moment. Ben, if they get their way, it's just a matter of time until you're against the wall, and you're going to have it coming, you pinheaded, short-sighted, lace curtain piece of shit. That's all in my notes. So That's just wanted you to know.
Then you should be aware that they don't like you for
they don't
specific
like you.
reasons.
You will be in the same shit show a lot of the people you don't like are. So
yeah. But go ahead, make a fucking weird face at Superman.
Yeah. Try playing your violin now, bitch. Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know somebody's face could twist up in faux outrage so much.
He literally looks like an actual asshole when he does that. He looks wrinkled.
He looks like the Uzumaki swirl somehow on his fucking face. It's just like, I was like, Ben, come on! It was it's Superman, and he's like, it's woke.
This is real easy, guys. Like, this is real easy. That's how they're losers, man. It's so funny to think that like there have been years where you sit there and take everything they say apart and point out the hypocrisies and point out the short-sightedness and the hatred and the racism. And then after long enough, it just comes down to like, God, they're fucking losers.
It just doesn't matter.
What a fucking tool. You know?
Yeah, they don't care.
No, it's just a fucking tool. Anyway, you'll get yours one day, Ben. Anyway, I literally wrote anyway. The Republic shuttle is gone, so he is stuck. The Imperials don't want him. The Republics won't take him. They can't take him. So he's stuck. Right. He ends up getting led to Shigar along with everybody else. The whole gang, Always Sunny style, is going to go after Stryver with Varish's blessing using Jet's ship, the Auriga Fire, which is a pretty kick-ass name for a ship.
That is a good name. That's a good name.
Good name. It's a good name. Good change.
Good change.
The whole plan, however, is centered around Shigar using his psychotelemetry powers on the piece of droid to get a sense of where to go. And he is not confident about all of that. Laren is her hand needs binding, and Ula fairly sprints to go help her. Going, I took basic first aid. I can help. Just so thirsty, so very, very thirsty for that 5-fingered gal of his. Chapter 23, Shigar links up with Master Satale. She's really impressed with everything that he has managed to accomplish at this point, including fending off both a Mandalorian and a Sith at the same time. Mm-hmm. I'd be impressed too. He thinks that the droids are the invention of Lima Xandrit, our long lost woman here. We've learned that she's a droid maker. This is part of her stuff. He put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
He's super unconfident about his abilities to read this droid thing, and she, gives him the old there is no try kind of Jedi
it's just like, just fucking do it.
Yeah. Just
whiny bastard.
Yeah, stop thinking so damn hard. Do it.
Literally, stop thinking so hard about it. Just do it.
That's exactly it. Laren is getting her hand tended to by Ula. It's brutal because her hand is partially melted and grafted to the glove she'd been wearing, and it's pretty harsh.
It's a gnarly cut.
It's a real gnarly cut, and he is trying to help her as best as he can, doing actually, honestly, a better job than I expected him to. He helps her undress partially, and then glows bright red when she says a girl's got to keep some secrets. And he excuses himself. And she starts, and once again, kind of contemplates this new group that she's fallen in with.
Yeah.
Chapter 24, we once again, this happens a few times in the book so far. Axe boards her master's cruiser, and we get kind of the counterpoint scene, the Sith version of the Jedi scene we just had, where she meets up with her master. Beforehand, she demands a tech specialist take the dead hex and get some information out of it. And she gets physically and verbally bitch slapped by Master Kratos for how bad the mission went. She gives him the same kind of lowdown that Shigar gave his master, promises to find the home planet with the droid remains, and then wonders. And she has a moment where she's wondering about the droids, and she compares herself to the droids, like, we're both my mother's creation. Right. Shouldn't maybe we be allies? She really does not like her master, which is not unusual for a Sith.
Not unusual. I mean, I feel like that's like the end of the road for a Sith apprentice relationship, I mean, that is how it's supposed to end. So it's like the apprentice is supposed to kill the master, I think.
Well, in the new stuff, the original stuff.
In the original stuff, the newer stuff chronologically. Because it's like in the newer stuff chronologically, the Sith are like, oh, there's only ever supposed to be two. But way back in the day, it's like, no, there's like 40 bajillion of them.
We got whole goddamn planets of Sith. Korriban, come on, it's a wild town. Chapter 25, Laren checks on Shigar, who's still working on reading the droid. It's not going well. He's really in his head about it. And she tries to cheer him up and tells him the story about her ratting out her CO. And this is where we finally get, it's kind of this mundane sort of thing. It's just that her CO was corrupt. She turned him in, but part of the, and he got punished, but part of it was that they didn't tell the people.
We're not going to release the files to the public. Nobody knew what happened except that she turned them in or whatever. Right. Or what, and so she suffered retaliation and had to resign.
Yeah. So as far as they knew, that she was just somebody who didn't like their leader and was trying to move up the ranks or something. So she tells him that story, and tells him that he's overthinking the whole thing, and it actually puts him in a worse mood. So she leaves and finally gets some sleep. After she leaves, Shigar wonders. He kind of thinks about it and wonders, would I be able to rat on somebody like Master Satale, who I respect? It's really good internal monologue that Williams writes. It actually has a lot to do with what we're talking about in these books. It's part of the themes of the novel. It's really solid stuff. I enjoy it. Normally with these books, a lot of the time when we get internal monologue, it's kind of window dressing. It's kind of stupid. But this is actually very solid, well-written stuff. So he finally realizes that there is no try and just gets out of his head, and his powers, boom, work. He basically travels mentally through the history of this droid and ends up in the mind of Lima Xandrit and feels her thoughts. And her thoughts? Angry leftist shit, as it turns out. Just... She's pretty based.
Pretty based.
Pretty based. She's angry leftist ranting. And cool. All right. I'm into it.
Cool.
Yeah. But then he knows where the planet is, and so we can move forward with the story. Chapter 26, the Sith droid tech tells Axe that the droid wasn't finished, that it was actually evolving.
I got the Thing vibes from this discussion.
Yes,
it was like, this is like a robot version of the Thing. We're like, it was like, you see, and they're like, that's man, that's dog.
That's exactly it. If you at home are imagining a Sith droid tech played by Wilford Brimley, you're correct. That is essentially what we're dealing with here. Absolutely. And he explained that. I mean, that's seriously it. I can't believe I didn't think about that. That's exactly what it is. That's that moment. Yeah. And he says,
"You think he wanted to be a dog?
Right.
He didn't want to be a dog.
Or be a human.
He wanted to be us."
That's pretty good. Wanted to be us. It sounded like Keeler a little bit. And he tells him that the droid could have finished itself if it had time and more access to a central computer. But they also managed to get planet coordinates from the droid brain, but according to the Imperial records, it's right outside of a black hole.
Yeah.
And acts very much like when Ron Swanson was asked, not Ron Swanson, God damn it. Oh, I fucked it up. What's his name?
Nick Offerman?
No. God damn it. Will Ferrell's character in Anchorman. Ron Burgundy.
Oh, Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. It's like much like when Ron Burgundy was asked to take someone to Pleasure Town, Axe says, "Oh, we're going there." See, that was worth it. We got there.
We got there. That was worth it. I think the other thing they point out is that it's like it's not actually in the galaxy technically anymore.
Yeah. It gets very timey-wimey when black holes
it's a planet. It's like a rogue planet captured around a black hole north of the galactic like accretion disk. It's like north, but up.
Right. It's central West Virginia is what we're saying. It is
it's
out
central
of the
West
goddamn
Virginia.
way.
It's Appalachia. You got.
It's scary. The cops don't come out there.
Mothman is there for you, though.
Mothman is absolutely there, and he will protect you. Never doubt.
Mothman sees you and knows that you're valid.
Yeah, the Mothman protects.
And the Mothman has cake.
It's true. That's true.
I haven't seen that statue, by the way, but I would like to see the caked up Mothman statue in person.
I just got done writing an assignment for work about Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And it was so funny because I did the research and I have to call, I was calling up sources and stuff. And a lot of realtors are who I talked to. And some of them, I was trying not to immediately go Mothman. I wanted to it's a town that's got people who live there. I'm sure there's more to it than that. And so I'd say, so what's Point Pleasant all about? And they'd go, oh, Mothman. It's just Mothman there. It's all Mothman all the time there. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So it's a town of 2000 and their economy is centered around a cryptid. Like it's what you'd expect.
What you'd expect.
And now we are absolutely planning a family trip up there. You guys should come. We should all go to
that would be good. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Yeah. Virginia.
And they've got a Mothman escape room. Yeah, it looks like it'd be fun. It'd be cheap as shit.
I'm sure.
Super fun.
I'm sure.
So, all right, that brings us to part 4, Sebadon, which is the name of this planet. Chapter 27, Shigar's party is driving into black hole territory. The Republic ships that they've contacted beforehand, which they did, by the way, are waiting for them. And then Satale's squad comes in and they watch as one of Satale's ships goes a little off course and gets sucked into the black hole.
Right into the black hole.
Black hole. They join her squad and she goes like, we just lost a ship. She's pretty blasé about the whole thing, actually. Yeah. She's like, we just lost a whole crew of people. Fuck them, right? You should take their place.
Why don't you just fall in as like Unit 2 or whatever?
Because it worked so well for them. So they're like, okay, sure. I don't love how little you seem to care about the dead crew, but all right, fine. Yeah. So she's like, at least we've got a spare.
The crew, by the way, that crew is screaming an eternity with the way they are falling into the black hole. So
they are being squeezed like a tube of toothpaste. And the end result is very similar.
Spaghettification. Not just for the Sam Raimi Doctor Strange movie anymore.
Not for all of us. For all of us. Oof, God,
I can't
I didn't like that scene. That scene was upsetting.
That scene. It's an upsetting scene, but it's perfect. Sam Raimi. They really let him cook. They're like, Sam Raimi is like, hey, can I kill Black Bolt and
horribly
and Mr. Fantastic in very terrible ways? And they're like, all right.
Yeah, fine. Can it still be PG-13? I guess. I've never been that guy. And when I saw that movie, my son wasn't even in the picture yet. So I wasn't a parent or anything.
Sure.
And I watched that scene and I was just like, who's in charge of the rating system? It was shocking.
It was like, wait a minute. Did she just cut Captain Carter in half?
Right. That whole scene, that whole like 15 minutes or so was my intrusive thought for no joke, like 3 weeks. Like I kept thinking about different moments of it and just getting bummed out. And when you work in social media, that is not a good time. That movie fucked with me for almost a whole month. So Satale, she reaches out to the planet and gets an angry response. The very familiar phrase, "We do not recognize your authority." When Satale, like many Jedi, refuses to shut the fuck up, they get missiles shot at them.
Yeah, I was like, well, I think they're deserving it at this point. They're like, you're
big time.
The planet's like, you don't have clearance to be here. Get out of here. And Satali's like, well, I see your feelings and I'm holding space for them, but we're gonna land.
But it's like, what did you?
What did you think was going to happen?
Look, I don't care for the libertarian commune out in the middle of the woods either. But if I go out there and bug them enough, I'm going to get shot at. Yeah. And it's not their fault, really.
Sure.
It's my stupid fucking fault. So, they get missiles shot at them, which everyone on board, except for Phil and Kevin, agree is a bit of an overreaction. I was like, no, that's you're assholes. One of the missiles, they kind of dodge a lot of them, but one of them finally hits Satale's ship. There's no explosion. Instead, we find out that the missiles are filled with hex droids. The point that the other missiles that broke in orbit are basically a cloud of these things. So we dealt with like 3 of them, and now we're dealing with thousands upon thousands of them in space. Everybody panics just in time for the Imperial forces to show up. Ula is reflexively happy to see them until he realizes that either he has to reveal that he's an Imperial while on board a Republic vessel, and that'll fuck him over, or he keeps quiet and the Imperials blow him to smithereens, not knowing that he
really doesn't have a win here. Ula is not. There's no wins for Ula so far in this book.
Ula's a whole big L, and
just L after L after L, like that GIF of the guy handing out L's.
That's exactly it, and he kind of deserves it. He's just not. He's kind of short-sighted windbag. Chapter 28, Axe and the Imperials arrive. They get ready to fuck up some Republic ships, but they're not really sure what the hell's going on. They're like, they seem to be fighting something.
They're fighting. It's like, it looks like they're firing at each other.
Right.
What's going on? And it's because the hexes are corrupting the computers on the Republic ships.
Yeah,
they are taking fire at each other.
They are eating them alive, physically and systematically. But they don't know this yet. So the fighters head out, including Axe and her interceptor, and she realizes a little too late that they are dealing with clouds of goddamn hexes. So they try to keep them contained, but the Imperial fleet gets hit just as hard. One of the ships explodes, essentially nail bombing everybody with more hexes. Like, any of the hexes that aren't directly destroyed from the exploding ship are pushed out just to do more damage. So it's lovely. Chapter 29, the Auriga fire is blasting hexes. They're doing their best to save whatever ships and escape pods that they can. The hexes once again go kind of Voltron on them, and they join together into this giant tube to kind of respond to the danger. And they're using the mirror shields and bouncing back shots. The Auriga fire fires at them, and the shot bounces right back at them, doing 60% shield damage. So finally, what they realize they need to do is use physics against them, and they build up as much energy as they can, and they fly into the tube. The hexes absorb all the energy that was fired at them, but it's too much, and they kind of explode like overstuffed ticks, essentially. Satali reaches out to Shigar with the Force. Shigar, she's in some floating debris, and he's going to put on a vac suit and go save her. He wants Laren to stay behind to man the guns, and we get an interesting moment I wanted to read out loud here. He says, positive, he said, she's the most important person in the galaxy, talking about Satali. It's my duty to save her. Then he was gone, leaving Laren feeling slightly wounded by his words. On Hutta, he hadn't come to save her. If his deal with Tassa Barish had gone awry, she would have ended up rancor food for certain. But for Master Satali, he swept in with lightsaber swinging, risking life and limb, and not even letting Laren help. She wondered if he thought she might slow him down. That's actually very emotionally thoughtful, like in terms of like the writing here. Like that's wow. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Some doubt as to whether, like, am I seeing a friendship where there isn't any, or is he just kind of like using me because we met and I'm a gun, Right. And that's the thing. In a lot of, not just novelizations, but in kind of mass market genre fiction in general, just for simplicity's sake, so many big emotions are treated like the same kind of way Ula treats his jealousy of Shigar. It's kind of like, oh, he thinks I'm prettier. He thinks that she's prettier than me or something like that. And that's kind of the extent of the complexity of these emotions. And I was just kind of impressed with that because it's like, yeah, I think we all see where it's going, but at the same time, you totally understand why she might feel that way. And it's just good writing. It's good emotional motivation. Shigar finds Satali. There are like 9 hexes around her, and she's keeping them peaceful with the power of the Force, which proves that they're not just droids, that there actually is a life force. There is some biomechanical element to them.
Right. Which makes the thought of thousands of them dying in the vacuum of space horribly because they got overloaded kind of darker than it was originally.
It's dark. Yeah.
So, he gets to Satali, and they basically cut their way out of the wreckage that she's in. She uses a force bubble instead of a vac suit, and they get the hell out of Dodge. They get back on board the Auriga Fire, and they see that the planet is now ringed with literal clouds of hexes. It's got like a ring of these things, like just the greatest defense system that a planet could have. And then she senses that Stryver is on a nearby moon. And he's like, yeah, I was here. I was here the whole time. I was watching the whole time. And they plan a rendezvous. He's like, if we'll figure something out. I got a deal for you. Show up, no guns, that kind of thing. And as they're figuring out how they're going to handle that, it becomes clear that the Imperials got the exact same offer because they see that one of their shuttles has been sent off to the moon to talk to Stryver. And that's the end of the chapter. And that's the end of today's reading. So
that's we keep the Fatal Alliance. They're going to be
Alliance.
It's a tenuous alliance between all sides here.
It's, sometimes with these books, with those kind of titles, you don't think much about them. It's kind of like an action movie. It's like, it doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of a cool thing. Right. And with this, it's like, that's exactly what this book is about.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So what do you think so far, Kip?
I'm liking it. I like this chunk a lot more than the first chunk. We got some good action, good interior monologue stuff from a bunch of characters, trying to figure out where their place in the world, in this big kooky world that they're in of the Star War. And a little bit more development on this wild ass libertarian space robot commune. I can't wait. I can't wait to kind of to see what's going on there. What do they got going on up in there on a planet that you can only imagine is semi-dead-ish, right?
Yeah,
it's not orbiting a sun; it's orbiting a black hole.
And they say something about the energy signatures down there. I think they say it's like volcanic action or something.
Probably whatever they're doing down there is probably geothermal. Because the gravity of the black hole would have prevented the core of the planet from fusing. It would have prevented it from because Earth has a molten core, right? Not all planets have molten cores or whatever. So I guess as long as there's I don't know. There's some science stuff in there that I'm forgetting, but I feel like that it's important that it has a molten core for, I think, possibly magnetic field reasons. Yeah, I think I might be forgetting something, but either way, that's
cool.
It's an interesting concept.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm really enjoying this part. I'm hooked. I'm ready to hear the thrilling conclusion. And actually, I'm going to be in contact with Sean Williams this week. He seems interested in being on the show, which I'm excited about. So maybe after the next episode, we'll have him on there.
That'd be great.
In the meantime, in between time, Kevin, I have a single question to ask you.
Yes.
What are you playing?
Oh, okay. So I got some new things that I've been playing.
Nice.
First, Wordplay is it's a game from Mark Brown of Game Maker's Toolkit, the YouTube channel. It's basically like a think of like a not Wordle. It's like a what is it where you have a bank of words and it's like figure out how many words you can spell from this, or bank of letters, and it's like how many words can you spell out from that,
boggle
like a
kind of thing.
Like a boggle. So Wordplay is kind of like a boggle type thing, but it has like Balatro level like scoring stuff where every round you get like mods or whatever. And you have to figure out like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I got this modifier for this letter, and so when I use this letter, and it's like you can modify positions. So it's like the second letter in the second position earns 3 times more. It's a fun little game. It feels good to play. It's very like it's good UI, good, very clicky clacky. Like in that same way that Balatro was. It just there's a good tactile sense to the sound design when you're playing it. So it's and it kind of uses Scrabble scoring, I think, on the letters themselves. So yeah, Wordplay. It's out now. I played, put in like 90 minutes. It was like one of those games where I put in like an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that.
That was nice. That looks like a nice, simple fun. I like that. Well, maybe not simple.
Yeah. Kaizen, A Factory Story, which is a new game by the Zachtronics people, but they're not called Zachtronics anymore. The new company is called Coincidence. So if you haven't played any Zachtronics games, they are basically, they're kind of like puzzle games. They often have a lot to do with automation, like figuring out how to automate a process. And Kaizen, A Factory Story is set in the mid-late 80s in Japan, where you play an American who goes over to Japan to work as a salesman for a factory, for a company that manufactures things. But instead of starting with sales right away, you're spending the first couple years learning how they produce their stuff. So it's like designing the little the ways to produce the little gadgets, like a video camcorder or VCR or a Gundam or what have you. So it's fun. It's very reminiscent to was it 21st Century Food Court? That was in, or 20th Century Food Court. So the previous game was called Last Call BBS, which had like 5 games in it. And there's a game in
Oh,
it called
I remember when you were playing that. Yeah. Okay.
There's a game in there called 20th Century Food Court where it's like basically you have to create all these automation things to like make a burger. It's like the patty has to get flipped out onto the grill and cook for the right amount of time and then go onto the thing, and the bun goes on it and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit simpler than 20th Century Food Court so far. I'm sure it's going to get wacky soon enough. So Kaizen, A Factory Story, definitely worth checking out. Let's see. Also started playing He Is Coming.
Oh yes.
Which is it's fun. It really reminds me of Loop Hero, but without the loop element. It's more like the graphics wise, it's very similar. The idea is you have a week to kind of battle around a forest area. You have random not random encounters. You can see them on the map, but you fight these critters. You have treasure chests to find. You have different like vendors and stuff. Like there's a shopkeeper. There's this guy called a golem who will combine two, like if you have duplicates, he can combine them and make a single item that does what the duplicates did. So you have an extra inventory slot. So there's a little bit of an inventory management and like putting your items in particular orders so they trigger the right way. It's an auto battler. So once you get into the battle, there's nothing you can do. It's like you just have to have built your character correctly. But He Is Coming. Go check it out. It's in early access, but I'm having a blast with that so far. And finally, it's a point and click game. It's called The Drifter. It's a horror mystery point and click with gorgeous pixel art. Just absolutely gorgeous. It is the developer so yeah, it's good. I really like it so far. I'm about an hour into it. I don't know how long the game is necessarily, but it actually has decent enough puzzles where it's not moon logic to kind of figure them out so far. Nice. Which I appreciate in a point and click. Sometimes it's just like you get into a point where you're like combining all your items in the inventory until something works. Right. So the Drifter is definitely something that it's got a good look, good fun soundtrack. It's fully voice acted, and I'm enjoying it so far. And nice. That is what I have been playing. Oh, and I've been actually been playing Stardew Valley with my daughter.
Oh, that's nice! What a great game to play with your kid. We're
doing a co-op farm. It's it's a blast. Just sitting there. Doing a co-op farm. So, but yeah, Phil, what are you playing?
Oh, well, I am also playing He Is Coming. That was one of the demos that I picked up during Next Fest this year, and yeah. So I was really excited when it got a full release. I agree, actually. I think it makes me think a lot of Loop Hero, not just in the graphics, but in kind of what it's doing. It is a loop in its own way.
Right.
It's one of those things that I can't play it for a terribly long amount of time, but I always come back to it, which is right. Shows that they're doing something right. It's simple, it's fun. I love coming up with the different sets. Yes. It's a roguelike, so you're unlocking different abilities and things to find as you go along, and it's pretty cool. It's very satisfying. I'm kind of obsessed with getting a speed character whenever I can, using like the fencing epee and getting as many extra attacks as I possibly can, and that's super fun. So I really like that one. That one is held up wonderfully compared to the demo, and it's still only in early access, but it's a very polished early access game. I'm genuinely impressed with that. So
yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and I know they're doing a lot of patching right now. I assume they're going to be it's going to be fully released by the end of the year.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am also playing. I played some Tony Hawk's part 3 and 4, the one that just came out. I played some of it. I played it on Game Pass. It is kind of perfect if you want a nice big dose of that nostalgia for those of us who are the right age to have played these games. It feels the same. The soundtrack is updated, still pretty excellent. It's goofy, it's fun, it's all the stuff it used to be. I don't know if I'm going to play any more of it, but it is true. And it sounds obvious to say, but it's one of those things that if you're into this kind of game, you're going to fucking love it. It's wonderful. It's a really, really cool way to while away some time. I didn't play very much of it, but what I played, I was like, oh, I remember this. This is really, really good. This is great.
And then the soundtrack hits and all that stuff.
The soundtrack is excellent. Tony Hawk does all of his stuff in there. He's doing the voiceover work, and he's got a great kind of sarcastic sense of humor with it. It's kind of self-aware.
Right.
I played through the whole tutorial because I don't remember shit about how to play it. And it's got a good sense of humor about walking you through its tutorial.
It's interesting that they have newer songs. They added new songs to the soundtracks. I was just looking at the listing, and I was like, oh, it's got Kendrick. It's got Run. It's got. I was going to say, has it got Run the Jewels? Yeah, Run the Jewels. I was like, Run DMC. Yeah, that's not who I'm looking at. Run the Jewels is in there.
Yeah, but then it's also got like Alice in Chains and like punkers. It's a nice. I haven't run into any songs I haven't enjoyed so far, which is always a good sign. But speaking of games that I played the demo of for Next Fest, The King is Watching just released. And that was probably my favorite game of all that collection of demos I played. So this is the one that I was genuinely waiting on. And it is terrific. The finished product is great. It's much bigger than the demo, but everything you learned from the demo, is present. There's just a whole lot more to it too, but not so much that it could overwhelm you. It's really solid. For those of you who don't know, it is a city builder game where you're on a timer and your city's going to be attacked by increasingly dangerous forces on the timer, and you have to build your city and build up your army and that kind of thing. The trick to it's on a grid, but the trick to it is that you only have so many squares that you can actually have working at any given time. So you start out with like kind of a Tetris piece, like a little L, and any of the squares under that will work. Thus the name The King is Watching. You have to be actually watching your farmers for them to give a shit and harvest wheat, or for your guard post to give a shit and train guards. So you have to arrange it just so that you get the right synergies. And it's challenging, but still very cool and laid back and fun. It's got a terrific sense of humor. It's also disturbing sometimes. It has got some serious grimdark, like Dark Souls-esque, what do you call it? Blasphemous shit. Like it'll be really goofy and funny and kind of chill and cartoony, and then all of a sudden a new bad guy will show up and you're like, what is this nightmare? I
saw like a cutscene. I was like paying attention, as semi-paying attention to like Northern Line playing it, and I saw a cutscene where it's like from the point of view of the king, and you're like touching the your advisors with a cursed rose.
Yeah,
and it like hits them, and it kills them by like growing stalks out of their mouth and eye. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
That's one of the first things that happens in the game, and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, what are we playing here? And then you get into the game and you're like, oh, this is funny, this is goofy, I'm fighting goblins,
it's goofy and cute.
It's cute. And then like oh, there's what's this called, a sun whatever, it's like some monster named after the sun. I wonder what that's all about. And it shows up at this horrible giant with this ornate eldritch sun mask that it's wearing. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like super Dark Souls and very over the top. And then you kill that and go, okay, all right, this is cool. All right, I'm back to it being a goofy old time, right up until the next thing comes along that freaks you the fuck out. It's a lovely balance in that sense. I'm impressed with it. I love it. I think of all of my, I've told you before that this is the year of my playing games where I can lean back in my chair and play the game and get some relaxation out of it. This might be my favorite one so far, which is saying something because I played some really good ones so far. This one is just clever enough. It's got a unique mechanic to it that I think is really cool. The King is Watching. It's definitely worth getting. I really enjoy it so far.
Cool.
Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. You can find us on social media at all the social media outposts, Blue Sky. Well, not X, the everything site, but Blue Sky and Instagram, Pixelit Pod. Go to our Patreon and jump on our Discord from there. Phil, I do have a question. The moon has been staring at me lately.
Sure.
What's the solution there?
Okay. What do they call those like wardrobe screens you see in you see in cartoons or old movies or something like that. You need to set one of those up, make a big show of setting it up. All right. But then put it in front of like your window so the moon starts to think that maybe you're going to hide behind it. But then like, make sure that you are actually right in front of it as you're changing your clothes, but don't notice the moon. All right. And so right when it starts to get comfortable with the idea that you don't notice that it's there, turn around and make sure that it can see your